everybody. Welcome to another video on the author, film writer, and entertainment space. Your one-stop on YouTube for bios, celebrity news, etc. I am Clint, your host. Let's see here. Be sure to check out my other channel, Clint Lutringer. And, there was some awfully sad news that struck me, as well as many other people who are fans of this person. And that was the that was the death of a very beloved author who I'm going to spotlight today. I was going to do it Monday, but due to my 83 hours I threw in, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. And I'm just now recovered. I did podcast and YouTube. What was that? Maybe. Well, shoot. Yeah, it's Tuesday currently. It is 9:45 p.m. in Lawton, Oklahoma, where I live. And behind me, you see the beach. Wish you were here. Margaritaville. Yeah, put your toes in the sand and stay a while, man. Okay, so you may remember this person for their work on Children's Lit. The Ralph, the mouse on the motorcycle, Ramona and Beezus, etc. It was none other than Beverly Cleary, who was born April 12th of 1916 and passed away March 25th of 2021 at the ripe age of 104 years old. She had such a long life, a very pure heart, and she will be missed. But yeah, she was a children's and young adult fiction author, and one of America's most successful authors. 91 million copies of her books have been sold worldwide since her first book was published in 1950. So it dates back to quite a ways. Some of the best known characters are Ramona and Beezus. And Beezus, I don't want to butcher this. Beezus Quimby, or actually Quimby Harry Huggins, and his dog Ribsy, and Ralph S. Mouse. Yeah, so let me repeat that. Ramona and Beezus. Okay. Otherwise known as Ramona Quimby and Beezus. Quimby Henry Huggins and his dog Ribsy. And Ralph S. Mouse, otherwise more popular as the title of Mouse on the Motorcycle. So, the setting, what was the setting? What was the place that she would base the story on? And the answer is simply Grant Park neighborhood of northeast Portland, Oregon, where she was raised, and she had been credited as one of the first authors of children's literature to figure emotional realism in the narratives of her characters, often children in middle-class families. So her first children's books were Henry Huggins, after a question from a kid when Cleary was a librarian. Cleary won the 1981 National Book Award for Ramona and her mother. And then 1984, the Newbery Medal for Dear Mr. Henshaw for her lifetime contributions to American Lit. She received the National Medal of Arts recognition as a Library of Congress living legend. Indeed, she was. and the Laura Ingalls Wilder Medal from the Association for Library Books or Library Service to Children. The Beverly Cleary School was a public school in Portland. It's named after her. And several states of her most famous characters were erected in Grant Park in 1995. Unfortunately, she passed March 25th of 2021 at the age of 104, just 18 days from her 105th birthday. She has contributed so much. Anyway, she was born in McMinnville, Oregon, to Chester Lloyd Bunn, a farmer, and Mabel Atlee Bunn, a school teacher, which her middle name is also Atlee. Cleary was the only child who lived on a farm in rural Yamhill, Oregon, in her early childhood. She was a Presbyterian, and when she was 6, her family moved to Portland, Oregon. Her father had secured a job as a bank security officer. Hence the reason they moved to Portland. So it was difficult to transition from the country to the city living. She struggled in school in first grade. Her teacher placed her in a group for struggling readers. Cleary said the first grade was sorted into 3 reading groups: bluebirds, redbirds, and blackbirds. I was a blackbird. To be a blackbird was to be disgraced. I wanted to read, but somehow could not. Yet she goes on to be a very successful author. With some work, her reading skills improved, and she found reading boring, complaining that many stories were simple and unsurprising, wondering why authors often did not write with humor or about ordinary people. And that is absolutely true on so many levels at times. In her 3rd grade year, on a rainy afternoon, she found herself enjoying reading The Dutch Twins, which was a book by Lucy Fitch Perkins about the adventures of ordinary children. So the book was an epiphany for her. Afterwards, she started spending a lot of time reading and at the library. By 6th grade, her teacher suggested Cleary should become a children's writer based on essays she had written for class assignments. After graduating from Portland's Grant High School in 1934, class of 34, a while ago, Cleary entered the Chaffee Junior College in Ontario, California. I thought that was just a place in Canada, but apparently not. It offered her lower tuition fees than 4-year universities, something many students needed during the Great Depression. So she saw that pass, and the whole reason for that was to become a children's librarian. So after 2 years, she was accepted in the University of California at Berkeley. She earned a Bachelor of the Arts degree in 1938. When in college, Cleary worked odd jobs to pay her tuition, including working a semester working as a seamstress and a chambermaid. During what Cleary described as 2 of the most interesting years of my life. So the first residents of the women's co-op Stebbins Hall and met her future husband Clarence Cleary at a school dance. In 1939, she graduated from the School of Librarianship at the University of Washington with a second bachelor's degree in library science and accepted a year-long position as a children's librarian in Yakima, Washington. Her parents disapproved of her relationship with her future husband, who was a Roman Catholic. The couple escaped and were married in 1940. And after World War II, they settled in Camel by the Sea, California. So, in a nutshell, she has a lot of achievements under her belt. Critics such as Leonard S. Marcus, who said, when you're the right age to read Cleary's books, you're likely at your most impressionable time of your life as a reader. Her books both entertain children and give them courage and insight into what to expect from their lives. Plethora of other praises and acclamations for her. So, in 1955, she had twins, Malcolm and Marianne. And she lived in Camel Village in California from the 1960s onward. As of 2018, she lives in a retirement home. Cleary celebrated her 100th birthday on April 12, 2016, but yet on March 25th, 2021, Cleary died at her retirement home in Camel by the Sea, California, at the ripe age of 104. She received many, many honors, some of which I've already seen or already told you about. So Henry and Beezus, not Ramona Beezus, Henry and Beezus. I got kind of or Beezus and Ramona. See, I got that backwards. Henry and the paper route, and Leave It to Beaver. She wrote that. Beaver and Wally. Here's Beaver. So Wally and the Beav were apparently conceived by her, and as well as a Ramona series, Ramona and her father, Ramona and her mother, Ramona Quimby, age 8, Ralph S. Mouse, and Dear Mr. Henshaw. Ramona Forever, Maggie, Ramona's World, and My Own 2 Feet. The adaptations, what was a 10-part Canadian TV series starring Sarah Foley was Ramona, and she played 8-year-old Ramona Quimby. And also Ramona and Beezus starred Joey King and Ramona, and Selena Gomez as Beezus. So Selena Gomez getting involved. So that is a small tribute, or remembrance rather, whatever have you, of Beverly Cleary. Clearly one of the brightest stars in the literary sky, I think. And I tell you, whenever I heard of it, I was completely just floored. I had posted in a Facebook group about her and said, wow, she lived a long time. 104, A few months later, she dies. I gotta tell you, it's a loss that's pretty big for everyone who loved her work, and appreciated her. That's all the time we have. Till next time. you next time.